Hello guys, today we're going to be reviewing unit number 5, which is what are you doing on your book? The first part that we have over there, it's related to telling the time or answering the question, what time is it? When we're answering that question, we're going to answer with it is, and then the time that we have on our clock. Now, usually we're just going to say the time and read it number by number, or first the hour and then the minutes. But we have some specific hours that might change from our native language. For example, when we have the exact time, we're going to say it's 1 o'clock, right? Or we're going to say 5 o'clock or 9 o'clock when it's the exact time. Then when we have a few minutes after the o'clock, but before the 10-minute mark, we're going to say O. For example, if we have this hour, we're going to say it's 1:05. Or here we have 10:09, right? Then if we have the 15-minute mark, for example, right here, we're going to read it as two ways. The first one is the easy one, which is 9:15. Or we can read it as a quarter after 9. For example, here we have 1:15 or a quarter after 1. Now, if we have the exact 30-minute mark, we're going to say that it's 1:30. You can also say that it's half past 1. It's another option that we have. Then, if we hit the 40 or the 45-minute mark, we might say that it's 1:40 or 1:45, or alternatively, we can refer to it as a quarter, but we're no longer following the previous hour, but the next one. For example, here we would say that it's a quarter, not to 1, but to 2 for the next hour that we have. Where's my eraser? Now, we're going to practice on page number 31 in our books. Here we have a set of clocks, and what we're going to do is that we're going to write down the hour that we see in those clocks. For example, here we can see that it's 2:20, sorry. 2:20 or 2:20. Here we see that it's 6:50. Here we can see that it's 8:45 or here we have 11, and as we can see we have a 0, so 05. Then we have the 3:15 mark. And lastly, we have 4:30, or we can refer to it as 4:30, or 4:30. All right, so this is in page 31. You can practice on your book. Now, when we're telling the time or we're telling a person the hour, we might divide it in AM or PM, depending on the time of the day. For example, if we are talking about the morning, we're usually going to use AM. Once the clock stops being 11:59 AM, it becomes 12 PM or noon. So starting from 12 PM, 12 at noon, we're going to go with PM. After that, we have the afternoon, and we're going to keep using PM to tell the time. For example, it's 4 PM. Then in the evening, which is a little later, we're still going to be using PM. And the same thing happens at night, PM. But once the clock strikes at 12 or midnight, we're going to start using AM. We're going to keep practicing telling the time on the same page, page 31. We're going to be reading the times that we have on the first column, and we're going to write them down. For example, here we have it's 9 o'clock in the evening, and we agreed that for evening we're still using PM. So 9 o'clock PM. There you go. Next one we have it's 8 o'clock in the morning. First, I write down the hour. It's 8 o'clock. And we agreed that the morning is not going to be using PM but AM. Right? On number 3 we have it's 12 o'clock at night or midnight. So we can say it's 12. And remember that midnight it's going to be using AM. Then we have it's 3 in the afternoon. So we're going to go with it's 3 in the afternoon uses PM. On the second column, we're going to be doing the opposite. We're going to do it over here. So we have it's 3 a.m. We can say that it is 3 in the morning. In number 6, it says it's 6 p.m. Here we can say that it's 6 in the evening. In number 7, we have it's 4 p.m., which indicates that it's 4 in the afternoon. After that, we have number 8, which says it's 12 p.m., which means that it's noon. And that was our page number 31. Continuing with our unit number 5, we're going to see the structure of WH questions in the present continuous. Remember that the present continuous is the tense that we use to refer to something that is happening at the moment. And WH questions are going to help me get more information about a person, a situation, or a thing. So the formula or the structure that we're going to follow is to use the WH question first, then the verb to be, then the person or the pronoun that we're talking about, and then the action that we're asking about. Remember that our verb to be has 3 forms, and we're going to be changing it depending on the person or the pronoun that we're using. For example, in question number 1 that we have as an example is what, which is WH question, are, verb to be, you, the pronoun, and doing, which is my verb ending in ing. Question number 2 or example number 2 says, where are you studying? So here we have a verb. And lastly, in number 3, it says, who is eating? Now this one is going to be a little bit different. We're going to skip the person or the pronoun because that is the function of our question, to know about the person or the pronoun. So here the formula just skips this part and asks who is and eating at last, right? To practice, we're going to go to page number 33 on our books. Let me erase this. In page 33, you will notice that we have a set of pictures of different people doing different things at different places. So we're going to take a look at the questions and answer them looking at the picture on page 33. For example, the first question that we have says, who is sleeping now? If you take a look at your picture, you will see that it is Victoria. She is the one who is sleeping at the moment. In question number 2, we have who is having breakfast. If you take a look at the picture on your book, you will notice that it is Sue and Tom. They are the ones that are having breakfast. In question number 3, it asks, where's Andre working? If you take a look at the picture, you will notice that Andre is working in Moscow. Where is the question? That's why we don't no longer answer with the person, but with the place. Then we have, where's Hiroshi checking his email? We take a look at Hiroshi and they're asking about where, so it's going to be the place. The answer is going to be Tokyo. There you go. To continue practicing, you can go to page number 33 and look at the pictures and answer the questions from 5 to 8. That will be all for unit number 5. Thank you for watching.